Hi Moonies. Well, this is going to be my Sailor Moon Crystal Act 38 review, and I think based on all the episode action, I think I'm going to probably not have a super long review, so let's see how it goes. Sailor Moon Crystal Act 38 picked up right where Act 37 left off, and that was where Sailor Saturn threw down the Silence Glaive to attack Pharaoh 90. So the first half of the episode, well, not first half, but the first start of the episode kind of did a recap of the last episode. So we see again Sailor Saturn being awakened. We see Sailor Moon jumping from the building, using all her power to go inside Pharaoh 90 to destroy him. So it picks up again, like I said, right where Act 37 left off. And we see Sailor Moon kind of floating in the monster, I guess. At least that's what I saw. So we see her and we see Sailor Saturn use their power to destroy Pharaoh 90. So Pharaoh 90 is destroyed finally, and Sailor Moon reappears and lands on a building and kneels down and looks up at, I think it was the moon, and she sees something and she lifts her hands like this to catch it. Whereas in the 90s, when the monster was destroyed, she reappeared, but butterflies showed up around her, and she was holding baby Hotaru. So that was different. Then, while she's on the building, she calls forth Neo Queen's Serenity's power, transforms into Neo Queen Serenity, uses the Spiral Heart Moonrod, and rebuilds the city, minus a couple buildings. So then we cut to Tuxedo Mask and Chibi Moon, and Tuxedo Mask is saying, "You're the Messiah. You're the one I'm seeing in my dreams. It was you, Serenity." So he's kind of realizing that the person he's been dreaming about is Princess Serenity. And so she rebuilds the city, and then we hear a baby crying. So all three outer scouts, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, jump from their buildings to go check on what the crying baby is. And they see baby Hotaru, and they see the Saturn symbol reappear on her forehead. Sailor Uranus is saying, Hotaru has been reincarnated. And then they get all three of them get this great idea of, let's raise the baby together. And so they decide to, again, take baby Hotaru and raise her. And Sailor Moon and the other Guardians jump from the buildings, and they they land actually right in front of the three outer Guardians. And Sailor Moon's asking, Sailor Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, where will you go? And Sailor Neptune is looking up at the wind going, I'm not sure really, but, we'll figure it out. So Sailor Pluto goes to Chibi Moon, because Chibi Moon doesn't want her to leave, and she's saying, we're all friends, we'll meet again, I'm sure of it, you're a very strong princess. And Sailor Neptune says, small princess, and take this talisman, take this mirror, and look at how strong you are in it. So she hands Chibi Moon, her talisman, her Neptune Aqua Mirror. Whereas in the 90s, she didn't really give away the mirror. She kept it. So that was different. Another thing I loved about this episode was they kept the rose petals surrounding the outer Guardians as they left. That's one good thing I love about the 90s, because I love roses. They're my favorite. So I love how they still kept that into the reboot. Another thing that is different is we cut back after commercial. We see Chibiusa, because she's not Sailor Chibi Moon right now. So we see her running to the other Guardians, other girls, and saying, Ohio, I think that's good morning in Japanese, I'm not sure. And they're asking her, so you're returning to the 30th century? And she says yes. So then we see all girls, minus Rai, in a new uniform. This is preluding to Stars, because the reason I say that is because I've seen the fandom of Stars, and they have the big group scene of all girls enjoying going into high school, and that didn't happen till Stars. So they kind of paid homage to the 90s. So thank you, Fizz and Toei and all that. I love how they did that. Even though I haven't seen Stars dubbed yet, I'm getting really keyed up and really anxious to see that. So, yeah, we see them being all excited about going into high school. And everyone is going into the same high school except Rai, because she goes to an all-girls academy that's strictly for girls. And I think, from what I remember in the manga, I think that is all through high school, all through schooling. So that's why her outfits doesn't match the others. So then we see Mamoru, and he walks up to Chibiusa, and they ask him and Usagi, are you going to see Chibiusa off? They say yes. So they're walking with Chibiusa with Diana, and Mamoru asks Usagi asks Diana, why isn't Artemis and Luna with them? Well, here's the thing. They cut to a scene where Artemis and Luna are crying because Diana's leaving, and they're reassuring everyone, or they're reassuring Diana, you'll see him again, you'll see him very soon, and Mamoru's like, yes. So, backtracking a little bit to the big scene of them jumping into the group shot of them in the new uniforms, Minako asks Usagi what is she going to look forward to, like what type of clubs is she going to join for school. She says manga and illustration. Minako says that she's going to join the volleyball club. I think Ami says she's going to join the computer club, so that's kind of different. We didn't get that. And so yeah. So anyway, we see before Chibiusa leaves, they watch an eclipse, and so that's kind of different. In the 90s, we didn't see at the end of the S season, we didn't really see much of that scene. That was more preluding to season 5 of Stars. So after they watch the eclipse, the show ends. The episode ends. So there you go. That is my Sailor Moon Crystal Act 38 review. If I left anything out, please, like always, just leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next Sailor Moon Crystal review. Real quickly, a little bit of Sailor Moon news here. Sailor Moon Crystal Set 1 is coming out in a month, so keep an eye out for that. I will be doing a video when I get it, probably after my trip. So if you have any questions about the review that I did, and I left anything out, please leave it in the comments, and I'll put it in another video when I start up the Act reviews again when we get Season 4. No confirmation has been made about Season 4. I'm just thinking we're going to get Sailor Moon Crystal Season 4 later on. So again, bye-bye, Moonies.